I want to share a story from early in my career that taught me a valuable lesson about leadership. When I was first promoted to a managerial position, I thought my new title alone would command respect and authority. I assumed that because I was now in charge, my team would naturally follow my lead. But reality hit me hard. Meetings were unproductive, my directives were met with skepticism, and there was a palpable disconnect between me and my team. One day, after a particularly frustrating week, I sat down with a mentor to discuss what was going wrong. He listened patiently and then said, "Authority isn't just about the title you hold. It's about the trust and acceptance your team has in you." That was my introduction to the concept of legitimate power in leadership. Legitimate power is founded on the acceptance and endorsement of your authority by your followers. It's not merely about your position within the organization, but about how your team perceives and acknowledges your right to lead. This was a game changer for me. I realized that without my team's acceptance, my title meant very little. There are several sources that contribute to a leader's legitimate power. Position. Yes, your role gives you a certain level of authority, but it's just the starting point. Expertise. Demonstrating knowledge and skills earns respect. When your team sees that you know what you're doing, they're more likely to trust your decisions. Character, integrity, honesty, and ethical behavior build trust. If you consistently act with integrity, your team will see you as a legitimate leader. Cultural norms and legal frameworks. Sometimes legitimacy comes from societal expectations or legal structures, but these are often out of our direct control. Understanding this, I knew I had to make some changes. I started by focusing on open and honest communication. Instead of just assigning tasks, I began explaining the why behind our goals and how each person's contribution was vital. I invited feedback and genuinely listened to their ideas and concerns. This wasn't just about making them feel heard, it was about valuing their input and integrating it where possible. I also made a point to demonstrate my expertise without coming across as a know-it-all. If I didn't have an answer, I admitted it and involved the team in finding solutions. This transparency helped build credibility and showed that I respected their knowledge and experience. Another critical step was involving the team in decision-making processes. I empowered them to take ownership of their work, which not only boosted their confidence but also reinforced their trust in my leadership. Recognizing and celebrating their achievements further strengthened our relationship. Over time, I noticed a significant shift. The team became more engaged and cooperative. Communication improved, and we started to see better results. My legitimate power as a leader had grown because it was based on mutual respect and trust, rather than just my job title. Legitimate power greatly influences leadership styles. When your authority is recognized and accepted, you can adapt your approach to suit different situations without losing your team's support. Whether you need to be more directive during a crisis or take a collaborative approach when developing new strategies, your team is more likely to follow your lead if they see you as a legitimate authority. However, legitimate power isn't static. It's something you have to continually nurture. Ethical behavior, consistent actions, and ongoing communication are key. Supporting your team's professional development and acknowledging their contributions helps maintain and enhance your legitimacy as a leader. Reflecting on my journey, I learned that balancing authority with empathy is crucial. Leadership isn't about exerting power over others, it's about guiding and collaborating with your team to achieve shared success. By understanding and harnessing legitimate power, we can create a positive organizational culture that promotes trust, cooperation, and mutual respect. So if you're stepping into a leadership role or looking to strengthen your leadership effectiveness, remember that your true power comes from your team's acceptance and trust. Focus on building relationships, communicating openly, and acting with integrity. Thank you for allowing me to share my experiences with you today. I hope my story resonates with you and offers some insights into your own leadership journey.